No one wakes up expecting their life to change in 30 seconds. But that's exactly what happened the morning billionaire heiress Marina Vale walked out of her luxury penthouse, forgetting one very important thing. She wasn't alone. It started with a morning that felt heavier than usual. Marina, known to the world for her perfect image, flawless smile, and seemingly effortless life, had finally reached a breaking point. For months, she'd been trapped in boardroom wars, legal battles, and family pressure that chewed at her spirit. So that morning, half awake and exhausted, she slipped out of bed, walked toward her balcony, and stepped outside without so much as a robe, believing every staff member had gone home for the long weekend. But she wasn't alone. Someone had stayed behind, someone she didn't expect, and the moment she realized it, her life spun into a direction she never imagined. Because standing frozen on the terrace, mop in hand, was Evan Turner, the quiet single dad who worked the night shift as the building's janitor. He wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't supposed to see her. And she wasn't supposed to be completely exposed in front of a stranger she had never even spoken to. Her breath hitched. His eyes darted to the floor instantly. Not a word was spoken, but the moment held the kind of intensity people remember forever, and somehow, in that moment of shock and embarrassment, the story reminds us that kindness still matters. Marina stumbled backward into her penthouse, cheeks burning with humiliation, heart pounding like it was trying to escape her chest. For someone who commanded corporations and influenced markets, she suddenly felt small, just a woman caught at her most vulnerable. She expected Evan to run. She expected him to quit. She expected judgment. What she never expected was grace. Minutes later, when she'd pulled herself together and stepped back out, fully wrapped in a thick white robe, Evan was still there, quietly cleaning the glass railing like nothing had happened. He greeted her with a gentle nod, eyes still respectfully lowered, as if giving her back her dignity one small gesture at a time. Most people would have made a joke. Most people would have stared. Most people would have let the moment define her. But Evan wasn't most people. He was a man who worked 2 jobs, trying to raise his little girl alone after losing his wife to cancer. A man who understood what it meant to feel overwhelmed, embarrassed, and fragile. A man who had learned that kindness, especially when someone is vulnerable, is a form of strength, not weakness. And Marina felt that. Something cracked inside her, not out of shame, but out of the rare feeling that someone saw her as a human being. Not a by Evan avoided any conversation, giving her space. But Marina couldn't stop thinking about the moment he turned away, not to save himself, but to protect her. Finally, one quiet morning, she found him in the lobby changing a flickering light bulb. She approached him with hesitant steps. He thought she'd fire him. She thought he'd hate her for the awkwardness. Instead, something unexpected happened. Marina thanked him, really thanked him. Not with money, not with power, just with sincerity. And for a billionaire who rarely showed her real self, the words trembled out of her like a confession. You treated me with more respect in that moment than most people do when I'm fully dressed. Evan didn't say much. He didn't need to. Sometimes silence is the most genuine response there is. But he did offer one thing. A small, warm smile that somehow softened the tension in her chest. For the first time in years, Marina felt safe. Their paths crossed again and again. Not intentionally, just naturally. Sunrise in the lobby. Late evenings near the service elevator. Quiet moments on the rooftop where Evan fixed the ventilation system and Marina escaped the noise of her world. And each time, something shifted between them. Not romance, not attraction, just understanding. Marina learned that Evan's daughter, Lily, was struggling at school because kids made fun of her hand-me-down shoes. Evan learned that Marina wasn't the ice queen the tabloids painted. She was exhausted, lonely, and unbelievably human underneath the layers of wealth. They started sharing small conversations, then longer ones, then moments that held more weight than words. The turning point came the day Lily went missing during a school field trip. Evan panicked. He searched everywhere. He called friends, neighbors, the school. Nothing. Marina saw him running out of the building, panic in his eyes, and something inside her moved faster than thought. Without hesitation, she grabbed her keys. Get in. I'll help you find her. And for the next 5 hours, this billionaire, who had never set foot in half the neighborhoods she drove through, searched side by side with a janitor like their lives were tied together. When they finally found Lily sitting alone in a park, Scared and crying, Evan dropped to his knees, wrapping his little girl in the